All right, looks like I am live here. Let's just wait for YouTube to catch up. Looks like we are going in a few seconds. It's telling me I'm live, so why aren't I seeing anything yet? I know, same thing every time I do this. All right, there I am. I can see myself. I know, same thing. And I'll turn the volume down so I don't hear that. All right. We got people here doing paperwork. Cool. I'm not doing paperwork. I've got so many things going on in this room right now. I'm trying a few different things. Hey, let me know if you can see this, if this switches for you. Here we go. Did that switch, and can you still hear me when it switches? Just type in. All right, awesome. Awesome. All right, so, hey, Lars. All right, so I can get the editor up on the screen now. Also, what I'm going to have to do back and forth like last time is hit the mute button on this when I play so you don't hear the string noise. And I also put a mic on my Marshall 1936 212 cab, which is on the floor over there today. It's a 57, and I have it going through my Scarlett Focusrite 18i6 interface. So what I'm going to try to do is, like I've been saying, I got the Seymour Duncan Powerstage 170 little power amp. It's like the size of a big pedal. It's actually sitting on top of the cab over there, so I'm not going to bring it over for you guys to see it. What's up, Mike? And I have the Helix going direct as usual, and we're able to see the editor now, the new editor, which I updated to. I have a gig this week on Saturday. I normally don't update until I know things are working out, but I just couldn't wait, so I went and did the update, and I have to say it was the easiest update yet with the Helix stuff on any Line 6 product. I think it was done in like 10-15 minutes total. You just have to remember to, if you haven't done it yet, follow the directions to a T. Don't try to do it like the old way. And there's a link somewhere that you can just follow the directions on, depending on which version of the editor you have. But the editor, if you look at it, it's pretty streamlined now, and things are much easier. So if you want to go to, where is it? Yeah, there's all your factory stuff. Oh, impulses right up here, presets and impulses. You can see most of what you have loaded. But the cool thing about it, let me go to my preset here. If you go to the impulse here, you can actually, if you click this right here, you can see them all, which is very helpful compared to the old way where you had to actually you had to like scroll through these things the way it looked before. So I'm very happy about that. Now you may notice here that I have the impulse response is turned off. I built some new presets, and if you look up actually on the left here, they're called 3OTB, and then I have every song in the set is in here with a different preset. But what does 3OTB mean? Well, as I was getting to last week when I did the stream, 3OTB is obviously Chad's OTB settings, his EQ curve, instead of using an impulse response. Messing around with it a little bit this week. I think I'm going to try it at least during sound check at my gig on Saturday. And so that brings up why I have an IR in here too. So I'll play with the OTB during sound check. I have a wireless. I can go out front, and I will see what it sounds like, and then I'll go switch the IR on and turn the OTB off. Then I'll go back out front, and I want to get a really good audience perspective on what it sounds like. I know when I'm playing in the room using the Powerstage through the real cabinet, this doesn't affect what's coming out of there. So I'm really liking the sound that's coming out of there. When I listen through my studio monitors, All I can say is the OTB is more in your face. The IR is more distant, just like, you know, a cabinet mic'd up in another room and you're listening through monitors. So the OTB is more if you want that guitar in the room feeling. It's close. I wouldn't say it's actually right on. I'm back. But it's pretty close. All right, so who do we have? Who else is here? If you're here, say hi on the chat so I know you're here. Looks like we've got 8 people on right now. Mike, directions, don't throw them away like furniture directions. Yeah. Especially those like IKEA things you have to build. And I don't know who comes up with those concepts, but you definitely need directions for those. All right, so what do we want to do first? You guys can decide. Just type in the chat and let me know what you want me to... and again, I'm going to have to turn off the mic that's picking up my voice when I'm doing... Especially when I'm doing the Powerstage with the 57 on it, because this... I've got it so loud in the room, and you're also going to have to help me out with the levels here, because I can't hear what you guys are hearing. I did my best with... I brought it up into Logic Pro X, a 10, and I think I had a pretty good level on it. I had the direct and the mic thing kind of leveled off in there, but it's hard to tell unless you guys let me know what's going on. So please type into the chat and let me know you're here again, and also let me know what you want to go through first. The update, like I said, it went really quickly, but I haven't really messed around. The only thing I messed around with was I went through the couple of the amp models, but it was late last night, and I didn't really spend a lot of time on them. And the Space Echo, I think it was called. That sounded pretty cool. Didn't really mess around with that too much either. Today, maybe Friday, I'll get to that stuff. But one issue I did have, and I had posted on it on the Facebook group about it, but then I deleted it once I figured out. After I did the update, you know, it rebooted, it rebuilt the presets, everything was good last night. Shut everything down. When I came back this morning to get this all hooked up, I turned the Helix back on and it started rebuilding the presets again. And then I started thinking, well, I thought we weren't supposed to do that 9-10 or 10-11 button push thing. I didn't do it. So I let it rebuild. I started playing, and all of a sudden, the gain staging on, especially the Arch lead model, was way out of whack. I only have it set at 5 on the gain, or the drive, and I was getting massive, like when I was playing, it was fine. As soon as I stopped playing, even if I turned the volume off on the guitar, massive feedback coming out of, it was mainly the real cabinet in the room, not so much the monitors, but I was picking it up on both. When I turned off the output to the cabinet and I played through the monitors, I didn't get it. So it was kind of strange. So I messed around with the outputs, you know, in globals and everything, and still couldn't figure it out. So I went and posted on the Facebook group, put a video on there, but then I quickly said, well, let me just shut the Helix off and reboot it. So after I did that, put it back on, it was back to normal. So I don't know if it's a thing where it's going to have to rebuild presets twice maybe after you do the update. I don't know if anybody's run into that yet, but that's what I ran into. And now everything's back to normal, so I deleted that post on the group there. Sorry, I'm getting emails. But so everything was good. Everything's good. I didn't have to change anything or anything like that. So let's see, Ryan, have I had a minute to play with the new amp models? Like I said, not really. I was more concerned about getting this stuff set up for the stream today, and also finishing up creating my presets for my gig this weekend, and making sure after the update nothing was, you know, everything was good. Everything was good except for that little problem I just mentioned, which is now not a problem anymore. We got 11 people on here. Let's go, guys. Ask some questions, hop on in, say hi, all that good stuff. And so what do we want to do first? Do you want me to play through try to make some quick presets with a couple of the new amp models? Do you want me to do the Powerstage stuff first? Do you want me? I actually have my Variacs here today too. I gotta change both these guitars. I brought them home so I could change the strings on them. What do we have? Hi from Italy. I'm gonna get this wrong. I'll just call you Costa. I have a friend named Costa. So Massanissa, is that right? I'm Italian and I can't even say it. Mike, you don't know about the Helix, but the Firehawk updates have done that before. All right, well that's good to know that didn't happen to. I don't know. It was just weird. Like it was almost like the gain. Like I said, it had the arch lead gain on 5 or the drive on. I keep saying gain. The drive on 5, and then the drive on 5 yesterday was fine. Did the update, and then today the drive on 5 was like it was on 13. And if I turn the drive, and the same thing with the overdrive pedals too. I would use the compulsive, and I don't have the gain set high on that either. And I turned the arch lead drive down to like 1 or 2, turn on the compulsive, and it was like that gain got multiplied, and it was giving me all kinds of feedback. But then again, once I rebooted, all's good. So hopefully everything's good now because I shut it off before I did this and I just turned it back on. The new PC, Costa, the new PC interface is finally fixed on PC. Had some troubles on some amps to reach the bottom settings in the past. Yeah, I don't know if you just joined us, but here's the editor, new editor, which is very, very slick and very, very streamlined, and it is actually really, really cool. Like I said, my favorite thing so far is when you're picking an IR, you can just go here and click that, and you can get them all right there. You don't have to. Before you would have to go like this, you know, up and down, up and down. You don't have to do that anymore. You just click right here, and it brings the whole list up. Max or Ironfly? All right, Massanissa. Am I saying that right, Massanissa? I think Mike. I think it does like a file system, like a computer already installed. It's good. You don't lose anything already set. Yeah, I like I said, follow the directions to a T, and you'll be good. It's pretty much if you were on the latest firmware and the latest editor before this update, you download the new editor, run that, and make sure when you open that up after it's done, you don't click the old editor because there's a new icon. So I had to find the new icon and click on that. Once you do that, you do create a full backup of what you already have on your Helix itself. Once that backup's created, you get out of the editor again, the new editor, get out of that, and then go, let me get back to the screen here. So you get out of the new editor, and then you go to the Line 6 updater, and then update the Helix unit itself. And then when you reopen the new editor, you restore from that backup that you just did. So, good pronunciation. Alright, so I'm just going to call you Max. Even if I said it right, I'll probably end up saying it different like 5 times in a row. But all right, let's see. Mike wants me to use the Variax with the new updated Helix. Now, do you want me to? You know what I'll do? I'll get the Variax and I will play through some of my presets that I have for the show this weekend. And then if you want, I will try. I'm probably just going to use the magnetics to try some of the new amp models out. So. Let me get this. I also, hang on a second, I want to, you probably heard that. It's going to be loud, so I'm going to turn off, I'll just give you guys the direct, and I'm going to turn off the Powerstage because it's going to be way too loud. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave the Powerstage on because I'm going to shut off the microphone here so you don't get that. So let's, I got to make sure my Helix audio is up. So I'm going to play I'm going to shut off the mic so you don't hear the amp in the room, and I'm going to play the direct. And let me know if you hear this direct tone. This is one of my presets that I have for this weekend. Could you hear that? Is that coming through? Alright, Max has it, yes. I gotta tune this thing. Alright, cool. Is it It's pretty much the same volume that I've done in these past past streams, so hopefully the volume's okay that way. I know it's so fun to listen to people tuning strings, right? Alright, let me find, I'm going to switch over to the editor, and I'm going to find something. Let's try Lost Highway. Lost Highway. Whoa, sorry about that, guys. I gotta get used to this. How is that coming through? Sorry about that little mishap with the keeping the mic on, but you getting a good level on that guitar? That is the Variax Magnetics, which has a couple of DiMarzios in it. The middle is the stock, but I think there's an Area 57 up here, and I believe this is an, I want to say this is a Tone Zone. I don't remember. Alright, level is good, Ryan. Thank you. Alright, so let's see. You know what? Let's go to, actually, you know what would be pretty cool is, let me switch back to the editor. My Wanted Dead or Alive preset. Now this has the 12-string Variax on it with some stuff. You can see how I have it. This row here is just the acoustic, the 12-string. Thank you, Mike. And the magnetics are up here for when I switch to the you know, the rhythm, the heavy stuff, and the solo. So what you're gonna hear first is just the 12-string acoustic for Wanted Dead or Alive that I have set with the Variax. So let me shut the mic off. Hold on a second, you guys. I'm still, like I said, I set all this stuff up today. I think you were getting, when I was playing before, you were getting the sound from the cabinet too. So you should only now be getting the sound from the Helix direct. So let me do that again. I'm going to shut this mic off. So that should have been just the Helix Direct. So everybody was getting that good? That should have been just the acoustic 12-string with, thank you, Max. Scott, what's up, Scott? You should have been getting just this path here for the 12-string acoustic. Thanks, Mike. So now, when we play that live, obviously do the intro and everything. Thank you, Lars. So now I will switch over to the magnetics for that song. And I'm going to shut the mic off again. So that should have been the Variax Magnetics coming through there for Wanted Dead or Alive on that song. That was just a direct tone. bear with me because this is all very confusing, going between what you're seeing now, me, the editor, shutting the mic off, making sure the mic on the 57 on the cabinet is off, and making sure the direct is on. There's a lot of stuff going on. Eventually I'll get this all sorted out. Maybe a small mixer would help me do this. And that is a text. Very clear. Very cool, Mike. Very cool. Alright, so now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the Helix audio, the direct, turn that off. I'm going to turn the mic on the cab on, and I'm going to play the same thing. You're going to hear the acoustic actually coming through the 57, which is, when I play it live, there's going to be there's not going to be any mic on this cabinet. This is just for stage sound. And I wasn't going to add the 12 string into that. Usually it would just come through my in-ears, or the guys who get it through their wedges, and they'll get it out front. But I said, let me just put the 12 string through there too, just so it'll fill up the stage sound, because when I kick into the rhythm, it's going to come out of there. But this is just the 57 on the cab with the Powerstage, with the Variax and my Wanted Dead or Alive acoustic. So please tell me you got that. That should have been the Powerstage going into the 212. Must be like an octopus. Pretty much, Max. A few things. It's all pretty much done on the screen. Scott, very full. So you did get the Powerstage. And I should note that on the Powerstage, it had what I really like about it, and I haven't really had to tweak it much, is the EQ on the Powerstage is obviously the 3-band EQ, which mid, low, highs. Very, very cool, because I noticed when I had the cabinet up in the air, I had to add some low end to it. When I put it down on the floor, they're all at 12 o'clock right now, so it's a pretty even. You're basically hearing that speaker, which I think is at 75 in there. Very accurate sound. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. We used to have the double neck acoustic, and now that guitar's been retired, can't be fixed. So the Helix and the Variax gets me through that song. So now what I'm going to do is I'll go to the rhythm sound coming through the Powerstage and the cabinet with the 57. I'm going to shut the volume off again. Sorry. As far as volume, it's pretty loud in here. I'm going to take a quick look. The volume knob on the Powerstage itself is at around 10 o'clock, so I'm not even really pushing it, and I've read some people give reviews and say it's not loud enough for a band setting. I don't know what type of band they're playing in, but if I turn that thing up to half, I will blow my ears out. It is unbelievably loud. So my Helix is going crazy right now. Alright. Max is asking 48 ohm. Yeah, there's only one speaker output on the back of it, and as far as I know, you just got to make sure you plug into the correct speaker input on your cabinet, and the Powerstage will be safe, for whichever one you put it into, so it should be fine. I haven't had any issues yet. Alright, so let's go to... I'm going to turn the mic on the cab volume off, and let's try something else with this. What else do I have? Oh, I know what I can do. Have a nice day. Scott is asking, are you running a noise gate? Yes, the only noise gate I use on any of my presets is the input gate. I don't use the what is it called, the noise gate or the hard gate like block. I just use the input block and do it from there, and I just leave it at whatever the default is. And every time I've tried to put a noise gate in the path, it really like kills the sustain on anything I'm doing, no matter how I kind of fudged around with it. But if I use the input gate block and just leave it without touching anything, all the hiss is gone. It takes everything away. Now, when I had that mic on, you might be hearing a little bit of a hum because it's raining here, and every time it rains at my house, I get some kind of ground loop going on. So, and it's not too bad. It's not overbearing, but you might have heard that coming through. Okay. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna do. All right, so this is Have a Nice Day with the Variax. Now for this, let me go to the editor. No problem, Scott. For this, it's kind of the same thing. I have two different paths. One with the Variax. This bottom one, again, is the acoustic. And the top one is the magnetics. But it's not either or this time. They're blended. Because if you listen to the intro of Have a Nice Day, you can hear it's pretty acoustic heavy if you really listen to it, and there's a distorted guitar in there too. So I just kind of blend the two of them. Now I'm using a pitch on both because the magnetics, as far as I know, you cannot. Yeah, the magnetics you can't. The Variax you can change the tuning. You can change the tuning here, but as far as the magnetics go, you can't change the tuning. So to get around that, to be able to use both of these at the same time, I just use the pitch blocks, and I just did a +2 on them for just two notes, two notes, 2 steps up. So let's hear what that sounds like. No hum on your end, Mike. Good. Let's hear what that sounds like. Let's do the Helix audio first. So again, I'm going to shut the microphone off so you're not hearing what's going on in the room. But this is my intro tone for Have a Nice Day, and I hope this guitar is in tune, because if it's not, it sounds kind of weird. Here we go. Thanks, Max. That's why you're here, from all the way from Italy, telling me. Now, did you guys hear just the direct? You should have heard distortion and acoustic at the same time. I know, like I said, I gotta get used to turning this thing on and off, but we lost some frames too. I'm sorry about that. I got so much stuff going on that it's killing the video. But did you hear the guitar with the acoustic and the electric going at once when I just played? Yeah, my internet's slow too. Like I said, it's raining out here, so that doesn't help. All right, Max has got the acoustic and the electric. All right, good. So that's basically, let's go back to the editor. That's basically these two paths doing the same thing. What is this thing here? Oh, that's the mix. I don't know why that's there, but yeah, that's these two paths with the pitch, because that. Now, what's really cool is in that song, when Bon Jovi plays it, now they have two guitar players, so one plays one way, the other guy plays the other way. They have different tuned guitars. So when Sambora was still in the band, he always played this song on a double neck Telecaster, if you guys have ever noticed that. The reason for that is the top one was always tuned a couple of steps up to play the rhythm, because the rhythm is played you know, B, D, G, D, A, A. But if he kept that guitar tuned to where the solo is, he'd have to play it C sharp. Yep, and when he would switch, when the solo came up, he would switch to the bottom neck on the double neck Telecaster, and that would be tuned, they always tune half a step down to E flat. So that would be tuned to E flat, whereas the top neck was tuned 2 steps up. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play the chorus, and then I'm going to switch to the solo, and you're going to hear, and you're not going to even realize that I switched, because it's going to sound right. But I'm going to go back, I'll turn the mic back on, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to switch while holding a chord, and you'll hear the drop in the raise of the pitch. All right, so I'm going to do a chorus and then start the lead. Alright, so that was playing the chorus with the acoustic in there and then switching to the lead. You probably didn't hear anything, you know, out of the ordinary. So now I'm just going to hold some chords down and switch between the two. Now the lead's going to get louder just because I have a boost on it. And one thing I got to check out though, hold on one second, I'm going to mute this. Alright, I apologize for that. There was one thing that was not configured right in the editor, the paths. This up here was outputting, so I wasn't getting any effects in through the cabinet, in the room cabinet, so I had to move that path up here. So now all this stuff goes down below and then out through where it's supposed to go out. So that's all settled. Alright, so now let me do what I was going to do before, which I will play. Let me get back to the main camera. I'll play a chord with the pitch up for the rhythm, and then I'll hit the lead and you'll hear it drop down. I'm going to turn this off again. So you should have been able to hear the drop. I mean, it's just simple, +2 on the pitch blocks, but for this song to be able to blend the two, it works. Yeah, +2. You can see it over here. So hopefully you heard that, and I had everything turned on right that was supposed to be turned on, and everything off that was supposed to be off. Yeah, Max, the snapshot's a lifesaver for this. When I had the Fractal, the AX8, that drove me crazy switching between presets and A and B and everything. There was always that gap. There were no gaps here. Well, none, that the normal human ear can hear. If you listen close enough, you record it, you'll probably see a little gap, but when you're playing live, you're not going to hear anything. All right, so that's that. Let me look at my list here. Let's go to one of the, or two or three of the new. I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom on this editor and just try to find somewhere that I can pop in that has an empty block or whatever. Oh, you know what I haven't figured out yet? Maybe you guys know. Thank you, Max. Hopefully you'll come back again. I'll do this again, and it's nice to have some people from... my last name is Antonelli, so I'm Italian, but I don't really speak any Italian, but it's good to see you. Thank you. Any of you other guys know, on this new editor, let me switch over. And it's probably something really stupid, and I'm just not seeing it. So say this reverb here, I want to get rid of it. There used to be an X. Where did the X go to like just get it out of there? And then if you try to drag it out, it doesn't go anywhere. Besides right clicking on it and hitting cut or clear block, like did they take that out? Am I missing something here, or is that just the way it's going to be now? If anybody knows, let me know. That would be pretty cool if I could find that out. I'm going to set this to multi-output, and we're going to start messing around with a couple of new I'm going to put on the Variax magnetics for the input. So what do you guys want to... Yeah, Mike, I was going to ask Chad too. I figured somebody would have saw that. It was easier just to have the X there than to have to like right click and then go down and hit clear block. So what amp model do you want to go to first? Let's go in here and let me put the input gate. I always put the input gate on no matter what preset I'm doing or what amp model I'm using. So let's try the Voltage Queen. We'll try the Voltage Queen first, and as far as an IR, I'll use a stock cab unless you guys want me to use something else. What do I want to use? I'm gonna try the Uber V30. So this is gonna be all stock stuff. I'm not gonna change any settings. It's the Variax magnetics, the Voltage Queen new amp, and the V30 cabinet. I'm gonna shut the mic off. Not a bad sound. It's I actually put it on through the cabinet in the room with the Powerstage, and it's very What's up, Aaron? Oh, thanks. That sound, yeah, I love that. Have a nice day sound. Did I have any trouble restoring from backup? Nothing, no trouble at all. You just have to follow the directions. Like, follow them. Don't deviate. Let me switch back to my. Yeah, don't deviate from the directions at all. Just. I found the easiest way is if you were already on the latest editor in the Helix firmware, like the last one before this update. That's going to be your best bet, because you don't have to do any extra steps. Like I said, I'll go through it in like a minute here. So what you got to do is download the new Helix editor. It's called HX Edit. Download that, install it, and then make sure, then you need to run it, but make sure that you find the new icon for it, the new editor icon. It does not look like the old editor icon, so make sure you're not clicking on the old one, because then this whole thing's going to be messed up. So once you open the new editor, then there's a new feature at the top. If you go up to File, create a backup, and it will back up everything that's in your Helix unit that you had before this update. It will back that up, save it somewhere on your desktop or whatever, wherever you're going to find it. Then, after that completes, get out of the editor, because when you update that editor, it's going to also update the Line 6 updater. So get out of the editor, then find Line 6 Updater on your computer, run that, and then make sure your Helix is plugged in and turned on USB, and then it should find your Helix with the old 2.21 version firmware on there. So you want to update that to 2.30, let that go through, just let it go. It says so, just let it finish, and then it'll look like it'll turn off, it'll come back on, it'll start rebuilding your presets. Once that's done, then you can shut down the Line 6 updater, open the new editor again, the new icon, make sure you're getting the new one, and then from there you go back up to File, and then you do Restore from Backup, and find that backup that you had just backed up, and restore from there. And I got everything back. It didn't even change any of my globals, nothing. Everything was perfect. So, and then the only issue I had, I mentioned when we first came on today, the only issue I had was this morning, when I turned the Helix on for the first time, it started building the presets again. And I didn't think anything of it. I thought the last time that happened, I had to do that 9-10 switch or 10-11, holding it down. That was the old way. And I had an issue with feedback, and the gain was all messed up on a lot of my presets. I ended up shutting the Helix off again, turning it back on, and then everything was good. So they really streamlined it. Really good, simple, really precise update system that we have now with the Helix, which I'm very thankful for. So, all right, let's move on. Let's see, go back to the editor, and do we want to try? I'm gonna try messing around with some of these. I'm gonna put a drive up, and I'm gonna bring some treble up, bring some bass down. I'm gonna mute the mic. I do want to add a reverb in there. It's very dry sounding. I'm gonna do stereo. I always like the plate. The plate is my favorite reverb. So, and I always bring the mix down. Let's see what that sounds like. Hold on one second. That's pretty cool. I like that. I'm gonna go over to Aaron. Just do it. Take the plunge. I have a gig this weekend too, and I was like, maybe I should wait, but I said the hell with it and just did it, and everything's good so far. All right, let's try a different amp, another new amp. Let's go to, what do we have? The Derailed Ingrid, which I believe, is this the train wreck? I think this is the train wreck. So I'm going to, I'm not going to do anything to the factory stuff here. I'm just going to play and see what this sounds like. That is really cool sounding. As far as train wrecks go, I'm gonna bump up the drive and bring up the mids and see what that sounds like. Sorry, I had to tune for a second there. So how does that sound to you guys on your end? Again, I can't hear the direct sound here, so all I'm getting is the Seymour Duncan Powerstage and Marshall 212 in the room. So how does it sound out there to you guys? That's the Derailed Ingrid. And who else is here, by the way? We got 11 people watching, and I only can see like 3 or 4 names. Aaron's liking it. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. I'm not changing anything for my gigs this weekend. I'm good with what I have set up. One thing I'm noticing, and I wish I could show you guys, and let me know if anybody's noticed, Super Human One, how you doing? When I'm looking down at the Helix screen on the floor unit itself, it's showing the amp, and then it's kind of like going back and forth between the amp and the tempo, which I never did that before. Has anybody else noticed that? I don't know if it's a bug or... I'm just going to step on something to see if... Yeah, it keeps doing it. Now that I just kind of tapped on the tap tempo button, it stopped. It stopped doing that. So I don't know. That was kind of weird. All right, let's go to... Let me get off of this and let's go to... what do we got? What do we have? Let's go to the Brit Trem Normal. Another Plexi. I love Plexis, but let's see what this sounds like. This is through the V30 cab, so I'm gonna swap that out and go with greenback. Let's try that. Okay, let's try. So we got that. I'm gonna shut the mic off again. This is just direct. I did it again. Now, something was like really, was that coming in hot to you guys? Because something on my end looked like it was overloading. Let's try this again. So that's that. Let's see what else we have here. If you just want me to stop going over this stuff, just let me know. Oh, the cartographer. I have no idea what that is, but let's see what this sounds like. I'll leave the green back on there. What do we think of that? That's a different kind of sound there. That sounds like something you're really gonna have to try to find possibly the right cabinet for it. Again, I can't hear the cabinet that you're hearing. So we got 11 people on. What are you guys hearing? Are you actually hearing anything? What else do we have? I want to go back to that tremolo, the new Plexi. I just want to try something here. Let's see something. Hold on a sec. All right, let's try this. Thank you, Aaron. You guys have helped me out here. All right, the mic should be on now. That was the British Tremolo Bright, which is strange because the normal version was actually a lot brighter, and the Bright version had a lot of low-end bass to it. I had to turn it like almost all the way off to get, and I had to pump up the mids on that. But once I did that, it was a really, really nice sound in the room. I think it would need a little bit more, although I'm not hearing what you guys are hearing, a little bit more gain or drive to it for that Darkness song. Let me add a little of that in there. So adding a little bit more drive actually makes that really, really usable for a song like that. I think that's all of the amp models. I'm going to go back to the Derailed Ingrid. Hold on. So I'm going to switch over now to some of the new effects. I just have to find them. Let me, the Kinky Boost, which is the EP Booster, which is a great pedal. I've owned a couple of them. Let's throw that we're going to throw that in right there. And we'll see what happens with that. Here we go. I know the mic. I know. I'm not gonna mess around with the compressors. I don't use compressors. Don't really have any use for them when I'm playing live. I just never have. Let's try this double take. I have no idea what this is. And Lars, I'll see you in case I had the mic off. Good luck with your car. So what are you guys hearing on that? A doubler, a double take. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be. I hear it almost sounds like, is it a chorus? Again, I'm only hearing it out of the amp in the room. I'm not hearing it direct, so it's probably a different effect running direct because this is not in stereo for me over here. So if you know what that is, let me know. I have no idea what that was. Delay. They added a delay. The Cosmos Echo. It's a chorus flange. Oh, nice. All right. I'll have to mess around with that. Let's go. All right. We're going to be done very shortly here. I'm actually, they're showing my house today, so I have to start cleaning up. But let's do the, what is it called here? Hold on. The Cosmos Echo. Again, default settings. So I'm going to mute this now. Well, that's actually really, really cool. Very, I guess why they call it Cosmos Echo. Very space age, which I believe it's after the Space Echo. I could definitely use that. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, Aaron and Mike like it, so. What else did they give us before I have to wrap this up? I'm looking at the reverbs, nothing. The pitch, nothing. Filters, nothing. Wahs, nothing. I think that's it, wasn't it? Were there new cabs? I don't remember if there were new cabs. I think that's it. I'm going to go back to... I'm going to take off the Variax actually and grab my other guitar here. The old Strat, and let's see. So this time I'm going to do in the room with the mic on the cabinet. Let's get that volume up. I'm going to shut off the Helix direct, and I'm going to shut off my voice. So here we go. Hopefully you were getting that in the room 57 on the cab preset that I have for one of my presets for this weekend. So if you were getting that, let me know. And I do have the mic on, yes I do. And the mic on the cab is still on, so you might be getting kind of a phasing thing right now. Loud and clear, good. And pretty much, I mean, that's all I had today, unless you guys have any questions or anything. Let me try this That riff was from Born to Be My Baby, which was off of... That was off... was that Slippery When Wet, or was that New Jersey? Can't remember. I should know that, but those two albums kind of blend together for me. Keep the Faith. I really like this sound. This is the intro for Keep the Faith. We'll try it with the mic. So I'm going to shut the mic, the cab stuff off, and bring you the direct on that and see if, I think it might sound better in stereo. So let me mute this again. Any better as far as the, the chorus spread on that? Nice. All right, well, I think we're going to end it here today. How long have we been on here? Over an hour. How the heck does this go so fast? Over an hour. Mike is asking if I exclusively use the Helix now. It's all Helix, that's it. Helix runs direct for the last, I don't know how many shows. The Helix has been it. And this is going to be my first show at the Powerstage. Just to have... I tried it through, an Atomic CLR for on stage, and I've tried it through the Firehawk. The Firehawk I thought sounded a little better than the CLR. The CLR just, I don't know, it just had something about it I didn't like. It was way too bright sounding. And that was even in cabinet mode. But the Firehawk was good, but the more I turned up the volume on it, it got more like synthetic sounding to me. So now I picked up the Powerstage to run through a real cabinet, but I'm still going to run direct out to, front of house for the audience. So, and like if you look at my, let me switch to the editor. If you look at the way I have it set up, so everything going through this send right here is going to my cabinet on stage with the power amp, and then the multi out is going to the front of house. I don't use any other pedals other than a talk box. I have the Banshee talk box, and that's about it on stage. I don't need anything. My backup amp that I bring, I just keep it in my case that I bring all the time to gigs, is the Atomic amplifier, the 3-button. I just have a few presets, sounds set up in that. I haven't needed it yet, knock on wood. Knock on wood. So Helix has been great. Yes, Mike. There are tons of guys using the Helix now, and there are still people out there that just want to badmouth it, and not just the Helix in general, but all the direct stuff. Nobody wants to say it's what's, that's what's happening now. Look at Metallica playing these stadiums with just a fractal units, really. And they have a couple of cabinets on stage just to get feedback, but it's the way it is now. It's just so much easier. You get a consistent tone, better live sound. And my whole thing is just trying to get that balance. I'm very happy with my out front sound. I just haven't been as happy with my on stage sound. So I think by going to a traditional cabinet, it's going to help me out with that, and more for my band too, because they'll hear it what they're used to hearing on stage, as far as a regular guitar amp goes. So. All right, any other questions or anything? Because I'm going to wrap it up and start cleaning this house. I hooked all this stuff up just to do the stream today. Now I got to pack it all away to get it out of the way for the house showing today. So, yeah, Mike, comes down to trusting it to be dependable. That's true. And so far, so good as far as I go. All my gear I've always had good luck with, no matter what I was using. So, and thanks, Mike. So I will say bye to you guys now. I'll try to do, and happy Thanksgiving, or happy whatever you're celebrating, if you are celebrating today. Thank Thank you, Aaron. Hope to see you again. Good luck with the update and the backup and everything. Just like I said, just follow directions. I know sometimes I don't like following directions on putting things together, but do it because it's very easy. And obviously go on the Facebook group if you have any problems. Guys are on there like constantly helping each other out, which is great. So until hopefully next week, I am going to sign off and say good day, good night, good morning, good all that stuff. Happy holidays, and I will see you. Bye.